Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. And they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Throwing on first down. Murray. And Daniels has it, left side. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Off the play fake. Murray. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Set. 319. 319.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 20. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's Breida. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll try to run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that. And no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this. Because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they make
now a hit and a loose football. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
He's going to get it running right. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of...
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
They run with Harris, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Play action. Murray. And the Niners get there and bring him down. DeForest Buckner able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He'll rifle this one deep right into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They run with Logan. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
To throw on third down, Murray. He's going to float this one deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Jerick McKinnon now to return. And he'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time, one play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Corey Peters able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off the play fake. Murray under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on third down. Murray, fourth down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just get...
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Niners on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Garoppolo now. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Now let's go. 3:19. 3:19.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. On third down, Murray. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on to punt for San Francisco. This is taken at the 23. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Grant. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Garoppolo on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
11.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. Garoppolo now, 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this 1st half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this 1st half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Hot.
To throw on second down. Murray. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On first down, Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it first and 10. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on first and 10.
Hurry up, here we go!
And with time running short here, they'll simply take the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On play action, now Garoppolo finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
11.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Benson Mayowa in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Buda Baker with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board. And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one. This is Logan, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Hurry up, here we go.
They run again with Logan. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the gun on third down. Murray going for the deep, and the defense loses him. It's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. On second down, here's Garoppolo. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on third and long? Throwing now is Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but now a hit and a loose football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Garoppolo to throw on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Niners on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Marcus Golden. drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Here's Bradley Pinion now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a play fake here on first down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
39!
This is Harris. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Benson Mayowa in there to get him his 2nd sack now in the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Marcus Golden in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Now it's Peterson. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Off play action. Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Operating from the gun. Murray. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up. His time is now. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter.
Here we go now.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And this is going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, wide open, complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for the Niners. 54 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They run again with Breida. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Garoppolo. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
On 3rd and 2, Murray, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll run it here with Logan. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
It was 4th and 2, and somehow he managed to get 3. Great leg drive and plenty of determination.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
On 1st and 10, Murray firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
It's caught right side by Daniels. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on 3rd down, Murray. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now let's go. Green 30.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They run with Breida. Dances by at the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A good pickup there on 1st as a screen pass gets them 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground.
That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now it's Breida. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went forward.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points.